Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Let's jump into our very first garden tour. So right here I have a bunch of tomatoes growing. I did the rookie mistake and I did not mark or label exactly what variety of tomato it is, so we're just gonna figure it out once they're already here. So these are all our tomatoes, these little yellow flowers here. That's where the tomatoes actually come from. So I'm hoping that all these flowers represent how many tomatoes we're going to get from this plant. If you don't know that tomatoes are self-fertilizing, so I literally just come by and basically say hello every morning when I'm watering them to make sure that they get what they need. So I have some tomatoes here. If you see in here, I do need to do some pruning. That's why I got some supplies in my hand. But under here, I have some calendula. Beautiful. I don't know what likes eating those. I don't know if it's the neighborhood rabbit or my dog, but those flowers have been struggling because every time we come out here, there's a flower missing. It's been a rough journey. But yeah, this is my little tomato bed. Over here, we have some more calendulas, some younger tomatoes. And I have to see this is actually supposed to be a sunflower, so I'm not sure what's causing that leaf to be that way. I'm just still saying hello. I haven't been out here all morning, so taking my time now. Right over here, ooh, that was creepy. There was a big old bug on there. Here we have my beet bed, so this is all beets. And then I have you'll see I have some random sunflowers just planted in the garden. Just because I want flowers in the garden. This is how I get them, because according to Brad, flowers are useless. Not to me though. So that's the beet bed. Over here we have some more tomatoes. With the hotter temperatures, I do notice that I'm getting some pests that I wasn't dealing with earlier in the year. So you'll see here how I have some holes in my tomato leaves. That means that there's usually something eating them. I was out here the other night and I was just coming over here and whatever I see, and I was squishing them to get rid of them. So just make sure when you're growing your stuff that you're constantly checking up on them, because it could happen super quick that they'll take over, which you'll see over here. We got more tomatoes back here. I know these are going to be the bigger tomatoes that I planted, that I started, simply because of how big the flowers are. If you notice over there on that bed, the flowers were a lot smaller compared to these, so I'm hoping that I actually get tomatoes. This will be my first harvest of tomatoes ever. I had planted some before, but I think my upkeep of them and how I was growing them, I never grew tomatoes on a trellis before. Tomatoes need a trellis or some sort of support for them to grow, because they can grow wild, which you'll see. I have some wild bunches of tomatoes there. So over here we're gonna have my pepper bed. I have some shishito peppers, which I have a bunch on here, and I've been grabbing a lot from here, right? Excuse me. Thank you. I have some shishitos. These are my sweet banana peppers right here in the middle. I haven't gotten any yet. That didn't make sense. But I haven't gotten any yet off of that plant. But I do see some blossoms that they are growing down there. Oh, I have one. So I'll probably harvest that in a few days. Give it a little bit more time. Here is called a Cubanelle pepper. I've been harvesting these as well and roasting them. They're so good. And then I have some random sunflowers. I have not watered my garden, so if it's looking a little wilty, that's why. Oops. Moving over here, we have my first ever zucchinis. I shouldn't say first ever. I have planted zucchinis before. They just never got this big, and I've never was able to harvest any zucchini because I was doing stuff wrong. But I have two zucchini plants here. As you can see, I have a bunch of zucchinis growing. Yeah, look at. Oh, and of course, something's been eating it. Oh, and that one too. Look. Ugh. It's always a thing. Always a thing. Ooh, that one's probably ready to grab. And if you see here, so you know why this happens. This zucchini right here, why it turned like that, I didn't, it wasn't pollinated. So zucchinis, they release female flowers, which is like the ones that have the actual fruit attached, and some like this, these are the male flowers that don't have fruit attached. You have to make sure they're pollinated. I personally hand pollinate stuff like that. So zucchinis, cucumbers, melons, anything that blossoms like that that does need fertilizing, I do it myself, simply because I want to make sure that I have fruit on there. So that one, I guess I missed that. I missed when the blossom was actually open. That's why it looks like that. But I'm getting plenty of zucchinis. Yesterday I just harvested 3, and I still have more growing. I am dealing with some fun, they are a little sick right now, so I have to figure out what that is. I want to say it's powdery mildew, which I need to spray it for. I have to tackle that, because if I let it get any more out of hand, then it's just going to ruin the whole plant, and I don't want it to go anywhere. I want to keep getting zucchinis. So this plant has been great. Over here, these is my sad little sugar snap peas. I did not realize that I planted it in the wrong season. I guess it does not like the heat, and it's been getting really hot over here. I was able to grab probably like a handful of sugar snap peas before it turned into crisp, but I will definitely be growing that again in the fall, because they were really good. Over here, oh, look at all these. Oh, look at, again, this must be a lizard. I have my green beans here. This has been fun to grow. I've been having to actually fix it because it grows wild, and it does need something to climb on to make sure that it's growing. But I have quite a few that I can actually harvest for dinner today. So this is my green beans over here. Over here we have, again, rookie mistake, I didn't label it, but I know this is a melon. Some sort of melon. You can see actually down here I have a little baby one. It's a little melon. I'm hoping that I know I seen a bee over here, so I'm hoping that the bee was actually able to pollinate it, because I didn't. That's awkward. But yeah, yesterday I had to come over here and do some trimming because, ooh, I see some eggs here. The eggs are just dirt. I don't know what that is. But I'm dealing, which I'll show you when we get to my cucumbers. So sad. I've been dealing with cucumber beetles, which also have an impact on the melon plant. They cause bacterial wilt as they eat on the leaves, and they spread disease throughout the whole plant, and there's no treatment for it. You have to actually treat for the cucumber beetle. It's been like a whole thing. You learn a lot of new stuff when you're gardening. But yeah, that's my melon. And we're gonna come over here. I have empty bed because I realized I did not start enough. Always overstart your seeds, always, because yeah, you never know. Over here I have this is my flower bed. I think it's like a butterfly mix or something like that. I literally just spread the seeds, and this is what's growing. So I know I have sunflowers, some borage, some herbs, and I want to say zinnias as well. So I'm excited to see this actually grow and see some pretty flowers. My beautiful eggplant over here. These are your regular eggplants that you see in your grocery stores. It's been great. I have been dealing with some pests on it, a lot of ants, and I know ants, I'm finding out they're good. They're not good. They're not bad for the garden, but they do go after, when you see a lot of ants on your plants that you're growing, that means that they're going after something that a pest has left behind, whether it's things like eggs or something like that. So I have to figure out exactly what's been getting to this plant so I can figure out what to do with it. But I do see some new blossoms, some new flowers in, and that's what the eggplant grows out of those flowers. So I'm excited about that, to get more eggplant. I thought I had, oh yeah, you see, there's one growing right there. Little baby eggplant. So that, and then over here, we do have some cucumber, but like I said, my cucumbers have been struggling. They've been struggling a lot with, like I said, the cucumber beetle. I did have one growing there, and I had to rip it out. And then this is exactly what I was talking about. So this is not because of water. When this is more, when it wilts like this is because I need to water it. When it's like this, that just tell me that there's something wrong with it. And like I said, I figured out that it's bacterial wilt left behind by the cucumber beetle. So there's no, like I said, there's no cure for it. There's no treatment for it. I literally have to rip out this whole plant. So yeah, it's sad because this is the one that was growing the highest. And you have to rip it out as soon as you see something going on with it, because it will spread to the whole thing. And I think I have like 2 other cucumbers here. I'm going to try and plant some seeds and see what happens, because trial and error, right? So I'm going to end up ripping that out, figure out what's going on here. Back here you have another type of eggplant. These are the long, skinny eggplants. And this is one where I noticed that I was dealing with a lot of ants. You can see right here. A bunch of ants on the stem. If you zoom in, you can see these are all like eggs. That's all eggs right there. And that's what the ants are going after. So I have to figure out how to get rid of all these eggs so the ants could stop coming on here. Look at all that nastiness. I don't know. I was doing some research this morning actually to figure out what type of egg that is. So if you know, comment below. So it'll be a lot faster. But that's what the ants are going after. But on top of them, ants are ants. So they've been going after like the flowers that have the eggplant already starting, and they've been eating it. And I haven't been able to get any more. But I was getting a good amount, like between 5 and 8 eggplants off this. So I want to save it because they were good. And then over here, I'm going to show you what happens when you don't put your tomatoes on a trellis. They grow wild. I had to do like this ghetto makeshift trellis, and it's just been a mess. This is what happens when you don't trellis your tomatoes and you don't prune your tomatoes. They grow wild. And because of that, I let them grow wild. They are more susceptible to disease when you don't prune them. There's just too many leaves, too many stems. They're more susceptible to disease. And I really haven't gotten a good harvest out of these at all. Even though you see the blossoms and the flowers, I haven't gotten, maybe not even a handful. So I'm just letting it grow because why not? I see there's more tomatoes coming in, but I have a few here. But like I said, learn from my mistakes. Always trellis your tomatoes. Give them the proper support that they need, and prune them. So look, I have these little cute ones, and these are the good ones too. These are, I think, this one I remember. These are the San Marzanos, and these are the yellow pear tomatoes, which are really good. I think I had one, and it was good. Over here we have some Brussels sprouts. I really need to water this. Some Brussels sprouts here. Haven't been able to harvest these at all. One, because they were battling some really bad disease. And it was, you can see it right here actually. So they're getting like those eggs. And those eggs are going to turn into insects that are just going to eat up this plant. So I've been spraying this with actually my neem oil mixture, and that seems to help. But I do have some Brussels sprouts growing on there. Rookie mistake. I didn't keep track of when I planted it, so I don't know when the proper time to harvest is, but I'm letting it grow. Over here, there's more holes on here than usual. Here is my very sad kale. You can see, there it goes. That's what's eating it right there. Look at that. Those little buggers is what's eating my kale right now. But again, always overplant. I literally only started 1 kale, and I'm like, no one eats kale in this house. That's a lie. I found out very quickly. I use this for a whole bunch of stuff. So I put it just raw like this, rinse it off in the kitchen, put it in my salads, I put it in the boys' smoothies, I put it in my eggs for breakfast. So yeah, for future reference, I definitely will be planting a lot more kale. You can see it eating. Look at it. There's a bunch on this one. And that's all I do. I just squish them. I'm sorry if you're like one of those people that are like, don't kill them. I do. Because I spent way too much time. Look at how many there are on here. Oh my gosh. I spend way too much time trying to make sure that they're good. For me to lose them to these little pesky pests. But yeah, kale, definitely planting more of that. So that completes this side of our garden. We're gonna go and take a walk to our other side of the garden, which is Brad likes to call our kitchen garden. Let's go check it out. Before we make it over there, we have our mango tree. This is our ride or die mango tree. We have yet to get any fruit off of this mango tree. It was here when we moved in. It happened to be in our front yard, but we did not want any type of fruit tree in our front yard. And we wanted actually to control how big it gets, because I hate when I see these ginormous mango trees and there's a whole bunch of mangoes on top and no one can reach them and they just go to waste, and that hurts my heart. So we're trying to control how big it gets. We are going to have to level up this pot for it so it can continue to grow, but this has been ride or die. It continues to come back, so hopefully we get some fruit from it soon. And now we arrive to our kitchen garden. My handyman of a husband built me this beautiful fence. If you looked at it before, it was rough. It was real rough. But here goes our little kitchen garden. Definitely, I'm gonna be starting to actually utilize all our space. That's our goal for the fall season when it comes to starting our fall crops and stuff. But here we have my tomatoes, my strawberries, my little patch of strawberries here. We've gotten quite a few strawberries from here. Back here we have our little rosemary that we actually bought. The herbs that you see now, that you're gonna see right now, we actually bought those, minus the basil. The basil has been the easiest thing to grow. It self-seeds anytime it gets to bloom, like the flowers. I literally let those dry, take them, and I spread them, and they self-seed. It's been amazing. But I have like my little patch of strawberries here. That, for example, here we go. This is a self-seeding basil, because I didn't plant that there. That's for sure. Over here we have some garden bags that I started recently. It's been touch and go with them. We have some peppers. I want to say these are my golden California peppers. I don't even know what these two are, but I know they're peppers. And then more peppers. And then I have some tomatoes that are struggling. They're holding on for dear life, these tomatoes. I'm letting them grow because, like I said, gardening is all about trial and error. You figure out what works for you and what doesn't. Here I have some beautiful mojito mint. It smells delicious. And I put that in a garden bag because mint, and there's some other herbs that I know of that they will take over wherever they are. So I wanted to keep the mint contained. So that's why I have it there. I have another tomato here. I used to have peppers in these two bags, but they were struggling. So I just ripped them. Well, I was supposed to rip this one out too. I just ripped them out because apparently they didn't like me. Over here we have our herb bed. We have some dill here. We have some oregano, some parsley. Here we have basil, and you see it's getting to the warmer temperatures. This is literally what I do. It'll dry up. Then I'll have a whole bunch of basil everywhere. I have more basil here, and I did not start these. They started themselves. So it's perfect. Over here we have some culantro, but it's getting obviously into the warmer months, and it's gonna start bolting like this. Look how pretty. Believe it or not, this is cilantro. We had cilantro here. It lasted, as long as it did. We were able to get quite a big bunch from it, but it's way too hot now getting into the summer months, and it does not do good in heat. So, but it is flowering, and I want it to flower, and I want to see if I can get some seeds from it, so that way I can save them and start them in the fall. And then another culantro plant right there. If you see why this is looking droopy, it's because I said I need to water. It is a hot day today, so yeah, I need to water it. But that is it. That completes our first official garden tour. Get away from me, ant. I'm super excited for what's to come, especially in the fall season. I'm gonna try and take on some square foot gardening to make sure that I'm maximizing and utilizing all of our space in our beds and our bags. And yeah, I'm super excited for it. So I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I can't wait to get to the rest of the journey. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.